What is happening, budget builders, and welcome back to the GMC Motorhome Rescue. If you're just now joining, this is a 1973 GMC motorhome that we rescued from an abandoned piece of property. We got this thing running for the first time in many years. We were able to get it driving again, and we actually drove it back here. From that point, we completely tore this thing down, we gutted it, and we've been rebuilding it. We took a new, totaled camper, completely gutted the thing out, and put all of it into this thing, making it an old yet modern motorhome. We have just a few finishing touches on this thing, and then we're gonna get to take it out and enjoy it. Unfortunately, in this episode, we have to take a few steps back before we start moving forward. With the camper side of this thing just about done, we need to address a few things to make it a little more drivable. One of those, something like this, is obviously reliability. You don't want to get out somewhere and get stuck, especially with the whole family, because that's our plan, to take this thing out as a family and enjoy it. One thing I wanted to check, because we have not to this point, that Oldsmobile 455 from the factory uses a nylon cam gear, and after so many years, if it still is original, you want to take care of, because you take the chance of that thing disintegrating, coming apart, and destroying your engine. Sure enough, I got underneath this thing, I pulled the fuel pump, got our camera in there, and it's a nylon cam gear, so we need to address it. Not a huge deal, we just need to pull the whole front of the engine off. But while I was under there, this original radiator, the one that we kind of patched up, got working. I noticed multiple big cracks in the tanks. It is just completely cooked. Unfortunately, without good tanks, you really can't recore one, so it's just completely smoked. So while we're in the front anyways, we're gonna take care of our cooling system as well. Time to finish up our dinette. I was able to pick up this tabletop, really our best bet for doing this, for pretty reasonable. With that being said, it's not quite the right size, so we'll have to change it just a little bit and reroute it.
Could turn it upside down and cut it.
Yeah, it'd be a whole lot
easier.
easier.
Radius mess with you.
Wow, that is better.
I'm sorry. Sweaty. Can't help it.
Straighten out this warped up piece of table wood, huh? Nice. So hopefully the screws go in pretty well. So this is an ash, is what this wood is. So it's a little softer than this oak. And we'll be using our same screws. Come with our little, so we can put glue on it. Yeah.
I just seen one random hole.
Yeah, there's one that, so that might be lighter.
Hmm?
That one might be a little deeper for some reason. So
Yeah.
be careful. Glue, 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 glue. Is for some reason Dinette tables are astronomically expensive. You're either making it yourself or you using plywood or making it up like this. The problem with plywood is a little soft to lay on. We want this to be a nice table and also be rigid enough to make that bed. Okay, we're gonna try something a little bit different than we have. We don't want this to be like the countertop using that thick poly stuff, whatever acrylic stuff we used. It works great on that, but for a table, I don't think it's gonna be the right thing. So we're gonna want to do a polyurethane that you would brush on. They have it in a can. And I like a spray can. So we're gonna try it with this first. Starting on the bottom, obviously, and see how it goes. It looks like you do a pretty light coat. Scuff in between. Recoat within 2 hours. Try to avoid runs. At least 3 coats. On unfinished. So we'll probably do maybe 3 on the bottom and then do the top until it looks nice, thick, and clean and sealed. That looks nice. I don't know. It looks like when you clear coat, but it's oil. It's a whole lot nicer than paint brushing it on. Between our coat here, we have just a few little flakes of stuff here and there. It's really just a little piece of wood that we missed, some slivers here. So we're gonna take, I think you're supposed to take this? Yeah, we're gonna take this steel wool, kind of scuff over. That should knock down, oh yeah, any of that stuff we have there.
Good enough.
With the table dry, we can install our rear hanger. So what this is a little aluminum bracket that attaches to the motorhome. This attaches to the table. You can hook in, and it can also slide side to side if you need it to. And then our Amazon special table leg. So this will be on this end. So you can fold it up to set this down as the bed, unclip it, boop, leg out, and adjust it like so. What do you think, right up against it?
Yep, flush, yeah.
Thank you. Now it's not perfect, but wow, does it look good. Just getting something like this table in here. What a huge difference. Let's see if it goes down to a bed real quick, and then we'll set this dinette up. That's nice. It's stout too. That's a big radiator, and there's a lot going on there. Now, radiator technology is a bit more advanced than it used to be back in the day, so a more modern radiator is going to be good anyways. They make aluminum ones and several other reproductions. The cheapest is like $800, and it goes up from there, $1,200, $1,400. That's a tough pill to swallow. This is budget builds, and that's not exactly budget. So we bought a $200 eBay special. And we're gonna try to make it work. You can see this O-ring pushed up, and that is probably why the system did not have a charge, which is good for us for now. Hopefully we can do these O-rings and get this AC working, because it'll need it. Wow, that thing is clean. But there's that nylon cam gear. Oh, holy moly. Holy moly, how'd that thing run? There you can see the spring fell off in there from that front main, so we definitely needed to take care of that too. Just so clean up in there. See the bottom of the piston, and look up at the cam there. See the crank. Wow. Now to get our timing marks lined up, we're gonna spin this gal over until our #1 cylinder here is all the way up on TDC. We'll make sure our valves are closed, meaning we're on our compression stroke as we come up. So that's a lot of engine to turn over. Holy compression. You can see our marks coming together. This piston right here. Fuel pump eccentric. Then okay, we opted to go with a high performance double roller, and we are not affiliated with Summit anyway, but it's nice to jump on there, be able to pick up some reasonable parts in there and make Dinette, Georgia. And so they'll ship them the same day we get them, and we have them the very next day, the same day we order them. Boom, we have them the next day, which has always been kind of nice. Lines right back up. And that chain is a whole lot better. Before going back on with the timing cover, we're going to want to take care of this front main. It is absolutely hard as a rock. Wire web. Don't want to forget just a little dab of RTV where the key goes, and that'll help prevent oil from riding up that key. Going back together with everything here, unfortunately, our poor original alternator was just a squalling. So we've got a new one to go in its place. See ya. Oh, there's a camera there. As much as I like this fancy doohickey breather thing here, I think we're gonna stick a new one on. Hey, well, you do what you gotta do when you don't have nothing. That's cool. While I'm laying under here, something we should probably address before we get a radiator back in the way is that. That's the bottom of the air box. It uses a piece of plastic here. But I think we can make something to replace it with. Nice. We're really trying to address as many issues as possible while we are as opened up as we are. We want a nice, reliable drive. And one thing, even though we had replaced this thermostat, this pipe right here, which is fitted into this, is leaking. And, well, we don't want coolant all over the top of this thing. And so we got a new replacement one. It's aluminum. We'll have to be a little more careful snugging it up. Bye. But that'll definitely make us feel better not having that leak right up top. And here is our new $200 aluminum radiator. It's actually pretty nice for what it is. One thing you're gonna notice is we couldn't get an exact fit. So this one is shallower and a little wider. The nice thing is the frame kicks this direction. So if we find a way to mount it on the face here, it'll not only pull it, it'll pull a little closer to the engine. We've got plenty of room there, and then we can make some brackets to mount it. We might have to modify the shroud a little bit, but that should work okay. And then we can't have a huge gap on our condenser, so instead of the condenser being mounted outside, we'll put it on the inside where the radiator was and kick it in, and then we can make brackets to mount an external transmission cooler. We'll have the oil cooler on the radiator. As far as the transmission cooler, we'd like to just better be safe than sorry, do an external one so we know we're getting really good cooling. You don't want to burn up a transmission in this thing. Here is our relocated AC condenser. With our upper crossbar where we can bolt through, our lower is going to be little U-mounts. We can hook these in and weld them on. And these are 68 to 76 big block Corvette. They're like $7 a piece on Summit. With the bushing in there, that should hold our radiator, I can't talk, radiator up really nicely. Tell you what, we're good at just dragging stuff out everywhere when we're doing something, aren't we? With this radiator, and one reason we chose this one, you've got your oil cooler and your transmission cooler. It's opposite sided, which I wish it wasn't, but not a big deal. It's what we got. We're gonna be using the oil cooler, but we're gonna bypass the transmission cooler just because of how hot it gets here, how much and how far we plan to drive this. We're 20 minutes from the mountains. Most of our driving, especially places we want to camp, is probably going to be in the mountains. And it'd be nice to potentially tow something, maybe not super heavy, but just be able to throw something on the hitch that this thing has and tow it around without having to worry about cooking that probably not exactly easy to service transmission. I am just capping these for now. You never know, maybe we could run the power steering or something through here in the future if it seems like it might need it. Here is the transmission cooler we're going to be running in place. One we picked up on Amazon. This can mount here like so. And I'm liking how there's a lot of cooling going on here, but we're staggered. So maybe not as tight as I'd like to be on there. This feels pretty good. We shouldn't have a ton of turbulent air. But what's nice is this is still getting a lot of airflow, and this is still catching a lot of airflow down bottom here. And that's probably how they designed this. So this radiator's pulling a lot. And by using that factory fan, which we're gonna do, we'll have to adjust the shroud a little bit. We should get tons of flow through this thing and hopefully have really good cooling in all aspects. Before we get too carried away with this shroud and work, it needs some work. made these brackets using an aluminum tabletop. We're able to bend it over, get it cleaned up, and bolt it on. And then we pulled the outer edge off of this shield. And the reason we did that is once we cut this thing down, not only is it going to be weak, but we're going to lose a lot of our surface area for the fan to pull. And so this actually gives us quite a bit more surface area there. We've got solid mounting. Everything is really coming together pretty decent. It's not perfect by any means. We don't have any idea what we're doing. We're trying to make it happen. Starting to wonder at this point, is it worth the $1,000 of savings? Probably so.
Bring it up to it. Is it all the way down? Oh. Okay, hold up, hold up.
The radiator is in there. It's snug, but we've got room on both sides, and you can actually see it's a little tighter to this side, which will make filling it hard, but maybe a little easier. With all of this though, we have to modify, or are having to modify, our oil fill just a little bit here. But I think we'll be able to get it. I'm unsure why this thing has an external filter, and in doing some research, they say you really don't want it anyways. So we're gonna bypass that entirely when we run to our cooler. Now there are our made up lines. This end to the motorhome, this end to the new radiator, and this should clip right in place and hopefully get us some oil flowing.
Cute.
That looks good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Clearance up here is really nice. This fan should pull really good through this radiator. Hopefully we can get the shroud up and in place here with the fan.
One.
One last thing, after all that, we ended up pulling these crazy brackets they had here that attach to that funky shroud thingy here, because this shroud is nice and tight. It should work really well like this, and I believe that's why these break up, because they're actually attached to this old engine. It's time to figure out if all of this is gonna work. But before we do that, we need to get all of our fluids topped off. We know our oil is gonna be a little low, our transmission fluid, and then there's no coolant in this thing. The getting coolant in this just got even more difficult than it already was, and it already was really difficult. But somebody was thinking about us. A subscriber, George, sent us out this really cool kit, and what's crazy is he said he enjoys the motorhome rebuild, and that's exactly what we're going to be using this for. He said he got tired of seeing us attempt to get coolant and stuff and make a mess. And this is definitely gonna make it really nice, especially for bleeding systems. And I put these little extensions on here, and now this can drop in and pop down in there. So huge thank you to George for that. This is gonna hopefully work out really awesome. And if we can't get it down in here, it's gonna work great for a lot of our other projects. While we're talking about it, huge thank you to Joseph as well for sending us some cheddar to help with these rebuilds and rescues. We really do appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Not sure you'll be able to see, but hey, it's in there, it's tight. Now we can get the funnel on that. Unfortunately, on this crazy thing, if it had an original radiator, I think it would work no problem. But with our extensions in there, we can just put a transmission style funnel in there, and that's gonna come in really nice for filling this thing up. I'm gonna pour it right into my hand. Drinking it.
Oh, look at that. I see nothing. Oh, good.
It's nice. We're up over the, should bleed out really nicely and everything.
Thirsty. You try to get me.
Okay, maybe I'll need to put that much in there. Maybe I'll go a little slower. All right, our coolant is topped up, which we need to fire it because it's dripping a little bit. Battery hooked up. Everything look okay up here. I put a little extra oil in it. Ready to fire it off?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we got our timing right. No leaks or anything. Super beautiful, nice high oil pressure.
Really?
Everything looked good until it didn't. We got a leak. There's nothing over here. So it's actually this AC line dripping some of its AC oil, which is actually good because that means we have oil in that system still. All cleaned out like it is. We should be able to put a couple new O-rings up here. I want to probably replace this hose, get a new hose made all entirely, get a new dryer, put a charge on this thing, and hopefully it has AC because it needs it. Now that we seem to be running pretty healthy, everything's pretty well dialed in, we want to be able to keep an eye on everything. Now we've got a good oil pressure gauge here, but we have a dummy light for charging, and the original coolant gauge no longer works. They had one hanging up under here in place, but we have a different idea here, and we've decided to change out our power level panel. We'll do something a little different as far as the air ride goes. We'll flip this, open it up for gauges, and we can put a set of 3 gauges right here, and I think that should look really nice. We'll have an oil gauge just there for now in case that one ever fails. Our water temperature gauge to keep up on temp on this thing, because we definitely want to do that, and a voltage charging gauge. Nice blend of, these are the old school gauges. Came in a car we rescued. Old school gauges, wood grain. And we'll do the wood grain here to match. That should look pretty cool. Grill's not exactly the prettiest, but it's also $400 to replace. So fiberglass and epoxy it is. Let's see if we can get it back in one piece. That's just slightly better than it was before. It's in one piece now. We can see all back together. We put the correct 9-pound radiator cap versus this 19-pound, which would have been crazy. Some people end up with the 13, and still the correct is that 9 because it actually pulls back. And seeing our level went down, we know everything's working just like it should be with that new setup. That was a lot more of an undertaking than I think I had originally thought it would be. Up under the nose of this thing, getting all that taken care of, and then figuring out the whole radiator system and everything else involved. We got to take this thing for a spin. We have been putting so much work into it. We actually have a camping trip already scheduled in the next less than a month. This thing has to be done. We're going camping in it. But now we know we can safely do that as far as engine-wise goes. We had all this work we've been doing, and we haven't driven this thing since we first got it here. We've got brakes, tires, new airbags, all this new interior stuff should be so much nicer as far as gaskets and everything go. Let's take this thing for a quick drive. Front seating still needs a little bit of work. We're just gonna take it up and down the drive here. That is something sooner than later we'll get to. Man, this thing runs so nice now. It is so quiet in here. We're talking. That is so cool. It's got a little bit of a rattle back there. Steering is smooth. Brakes are super nice. We put a booster in this thing, a used booster that we got from the parts motorhome that we got all these other parts from, windows and stuff. No funny noises. Temperature is 170. I am riding off the road. This thing is huge. You forget just how big of a vehicle this is. Sounds good, healthy. Oil pressure's phenomenal. It drives really nice, just effortlessly for something 52 years old. Would you go back and see what that rattle is, please, Dad?
Let's go take a look. Oh my goodness. That's all it is.
Okay.
Stove lid. New modern stove lid. We expect. So what's going on?
Is this nice or what? It drives really good. It shifts so smooth. We definitely, air conditioning is a must-have. You know what? The only time that I've driven this, when we drove it home, we did not have an engine cover, and it was literally cooking me. This is just a little better. A little better. I love the seating position. Hanging up over the front, it's like a mega Volkswagen bus.
You like the seating position on your crate?
You know what I mean. Oh my goodness. Whee! I love it though. This thing's ready for some mountain cruises. I don't smell anything weird, nothing burning off. We're not leaving any lines in the road from fluids. Brakes are phenomenal. This is so different than the first time we drove it. This thing was like This is actually really great. I'm gonna cook on my stove. Oil pressure, awesome. Temp, awesome. What you think, Dad?
It's a big vehicle. It's not bad for the size of it.
No! Let's stick the steering wheel in it.
Yeah, a little.
We gotta get the steering wheel. Seats, steering wheel, dash pad. Front will be done. Other than tanks and a little cleanup in that door, this thing's done. Drink my coffee. It's weird going backwards.
There's some trees.
Jeez Louise!
I was winning the
I know, it's huge! I couldn't be happier with this moment. We are pretty much there. You want to put it back in the shop? Well, there she is. All of that work, running, driving, nearly complete once again. We're so close. I was hoping to have it completely finished in this video, but if you can't tell, it took a while, and we want to get this upload up. You'll see another upload very shortly, and you'll see a completion in our camping trip in less than a month. I really hope you all have enjoyed, and if you have, and you haven't already, want to see more on this, our other rebuilds, be sure to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and if you have been a part of the channel, we do appreciate it so incredibly much. We've gotten to rescue this awesome piece of history because of each and every one of you. Peace out, and catch you all on the flip side.